Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Golden Age Comedy Club, Cincinnati's home for stand-up comedy. Wednesday night, let me make some noise, baby! Alright, if everybody's performing in the show started, please turn those cell phones on silent, don't heckle the comedians, and keep that table talk down or you will be asked to leave. With that out of the way, make some noise for your friends and family on the program, everybody! Please come along the stage, the very funny, the very talented, your host and MC, it's Nick the Big Man Higgins, baby!
Yeah. How are we doing Wednesday night? Yeah, make some noise, guys. It's a program. Right on. Thank you for coming out to our nice little club here. I'm Nick Higdon. I'll be hosting this thing for you guys. Come on, make some noise for the people you came out here to see. Really show some love. Awesome. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's do it. Let's just get right into it. I'm pretty bad on first dates. And I think it's because I take those icebreaker questions way too literally. Like, I was going out with a girl one time, and she played that game with me. Have you guys ever played Fuck, Marry, Kill? Yeah, okay, then you know. So she asked me, she goes, all right, fuck, marry, kill. Waffles, pancakes, French toast. Right. Now, what she's asking me is which one of these foods do you think is the tastiest? It's not the question I heard. All right, I heard which one of these foods, like, do you want to stick your penis inside of? And you know me, I'm a gentleman, so I answered honestly. I said, I think I would kill French toast, I'd marry waffles, but I would definitely fuck pancakes. And she was kind of surprised by that answer. She was like, wow, nobody ever says pancakes. Why do you want to fuck pancakes? And I was like, it felt pretty good the first time. Right on. Hey, I'm glad you guys like that joke, because, she didn't. I mean, you say something like that, at that point, date's over, right? She went home, but I went to IHOP. Heck yeah, you guys are fun. You guys are fun, right on. Yeah, I was thinking about this recently. Like, my parents never gave me, like, the birds and the bees talk. Like, when I was a kid, my parents never talked to me about sex, which is probably good they never gave me the birds and bees talk, because I feel like that would have confused me as a kid. Right? Like, birds and bees, like, which one's the pussy? I mean, which one of these things do I fuck? I don't know. I think it should be the birds and the flowers, right? Or not the birds, sorry, the bees and the flowers, because that makes more sense, right? Because flowers are supposed to be vaginas. At least that's what I thought. That's why I keep getting kicked out of the botanical gardens, at least, but... But yeah, my parents never talked to me about like, sex. Never once came up. Like, the closest my parents ever came to talk to me about the birds and bees was one time I was playing a game on my dad's phone. I was like 12 years old, just playing a game on my dad's phone, and a text came in from my mom. And it said, do you want to do the hanky-panky? Yeah, then my dad had to sit both me and my mom down and explain what sex was. No, we never talked about it, but I'm 26 years old, and I gotta be honest with you guys, hanky-panky still haunts me. Right, it's gross. It's too whimsical. It sounds too close to hokey-pokey for me. I don't want to think about my dad sticking his left hand in, left hand out, sticking his right foot in. Yeah, so whenever I was a kid and I heard noises coming from my parents' bedroom, I had no idea what was happening. I thought they were night wrestling. Right? I thought they were fans of WWE. I thought they were cool. And they're doing Friday Night SmackDown. Turns out, Monday Night Raw. Thank you. Right on, yeah. No, this is true. Later I realized, like, their code word was shower. They're like, let's go take a shower. And I should have known something was up, because they always came out smelling way worse than when they got in there. Right on, yeah, I felt some of you guys pull back on that. That's cool, yeah. Don't worry. It's gonna get nasty in here tonight, guys. I've seen the list. You guys are in for a treat. Yeah, right on. Despite those last two stories, I do have a girlfriend now, but we're in the beginning phases of the relationship, and I can tell I'm not being myself yet because I'm being really nice. Like, wow, shut up. Shut the fuck up. We're gonna nip that in the bud right now. No, I'm a nice guy. Listen, I'm a nice guy, but like, I want her to feel comfortable around me. So I feel myself apologizing for random things. Like the other day, we were driving in the car, and out of nowhere, she goes, "Man, my vagina's kind of sore." And I had no idea how to respond to that, so I was just like, "No, I'm sorry." And I meant like, I'm sorry you're in pain, but if I'm being honest, in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's what you get for trying to wrangle the hog, dude. I'm in there squealing, bitch, but no. Yeah, dude, that's just how like repressed I am sexually. Like anytime dirty talk comes up, my instinct is to apologize. I mean, she's like, "Man, you were an animal last night." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I had too much soda. Sprite makes me rowdy." But anyways, I'm apologizing to my girlfriend for beating the pussy up, and and she goes, "Oh, don't worry, that definitely wasn't your fault." I was like, "Are you sure it wasn't kind of my fault?" You know what I mean? If it's a deep pain, if it's like way up there, that's probably not me, but the front stuff? That's daddy, right? Like, I know myself. I fucked the way a first grader swims. Like, I'm not going down the deep end, but I'm splashing around the shallow end. You know what I mean? I'm holding my nose every time I go down. Anyways, it turns out it was my fault her vagina's sore. You're not supposed to pee in the pool. That's my time, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We got a great show for you guys tonight. Some great comics. Please help me welcome up to the stage. She's very funny. She's in from Louisville. Make some noise for Nan Chowdhury.
What's up, Go Bananas? How you doing? Listen, I said I love you for the first time to this guy I'm seeing. You think that would be exciting, but it's the first time I've seen him. I feel like when a woman says I love you too early in the relationship, that's the equivalent of a guy nutting too quickly. It's embarrassing. He dropped me off to work and fucked off to wherever the fuck he's from. And I was just like, "Oh, thank you so much, I love you, bye." Wait, sorry. Sorry, I say that to my friends a lot, I didn't mean it. Saving that word for marriage. I also said I love you to my dental hygienist, so I don't know. Says a lot about how much I think of that word. Dentists are fun, right? No, fuck you, no. Fucking hate dentists. They're the only doctor not available at the ER. I fucking hate that shit. My tooth had an abscess in it, and it was rotting. There is no other bone in your body that if it was rotting, the ER would send you home with pain meds, right? I had a period for 10 months straight one time. Strap in, sorry, it's gross. And I did what any reasonable person did in that situation. I got on Tinder, changed my gender preference to vampire, but when I was in the ER, I got seen by the vagina doctor, by the heart doctor, by the cancer doctor. Every fucking doctor saw me on a fucking weekend. But I got a fucking, rotting tooth, and the dentist "Sorry, my hours are Monday, 9 to 5. See me in 3 months. And it's fuck you. I was so desperate, I drove 2 hours up to Indianapolis for a 24-hour dentist. I called up the guy. It was the middle of the night. It was fucking midnight. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to drive up 2 hours from Louisville. Are you going to have a spot for me?" He's like, yeah, for sure. Come up. I drive up there, and it's just some dude's house. At that point, I wish it was a murderer. I was so in pain, I just wanted to die at that point. But anyways, let's bring it up. I'm a science teacher turned comedian. Call that Breaking Sad. But I don't sell drugs. I push jokes. I'm just kidding. I do sell drugs. See me after the show. I got some extra Percocets from that tooth extraction. Yeah, no, I am a science teacher. The other day, this kid in my class decided to announce to the entire class in the middle of my fucking lesson that he turned Muslim, and I was like, okay, I'm Muslim too, so I'm okay with that, but could you wait until I was done? Also, it makes sense. He's been to juvie. Oh, you guys pull back. You guys didn't see that episode of Saved by the Bell? Listen, if you guys don't pay attention to, look, Malcolm X, you guys don't know about Malcolm X? If you don't pay attention to what's happening in our school districts and you don't fund them, you're gonna have to worry about the school to prison to Islam pipeline, all right? I'm okay with that. I don't know if you guys are, all right? It's a tough sell. Okay, you guys don't like that. I've got a lot of shit wrong with me. I'm lactose intolerant. Anybody else shit their pants 50 times a day? Yeah, I feel like, we should grow up. It's 2023. Stop being intolerant, Sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you. No, but I was like pouring some pussy-ass almond milk in my cereal the other day. And my eyes ran across the top of the box. It was like 50% more calcium than dairy. And I'm like, who the fuck is drinking almond milk for the calcium content? That's not an option, honey. That's a last resort. Have you looked at the ingredients of almond milk? It's literally filtered water and the screams of an almond being titty twisted in a factory somewhere. It's barely there. When I wrote that joke, I imagined like an almond about yay high. In a GIMP costume, tied to a pole in the middle of the factory. I was really enjoying that BDSM. Anyways, I'll leave you guys with this one. You guys know what sleep apnea is? Yeah. I've got sleep apnea. I feel like people who have sleep apnea are like the pugs of the human race. Stop breeding us. We can't breathe. Thank you guys. My name's Adam Chowdhury. You guys have been great. Thank you. I'm gonna bring up your next comic of the evening. You guys are in for a treat. Please help me welcome Ja Croy.
What's up, Go Bananas? What up, what up? This is my first time performing here. Give it up for me. I appreciate that. So I go by Ja Croy on stage because my real name is AJ York, and it does rhyme with Gay J Dork. It's really nice when my family came. Thank you, family. Appreciate that. Luckily my stepmom's not here, so I can do the joke about having sex with her tonight. I wrote that earlier today. I was like, man, they're either gonna love that or hate it. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'd only do it if she was here. So some of you have probably seen me before. Did you guys miss me? Yeah. Oh, why didn't you come visit me in jail? That was fucked up. Whatever. So I've been sober for about 10 years. Thank you. I get like a mixed, like 50-50 on that. Like people were either like, yeah, we believe you. Most of the time people are like, we don't fucking believe that. But they do always believe when I tell them I've been homeless for 11 years. It's kind of fucked up. I'm not homeless. The bridge keeps me dry enough, I did run into a homeless guy the other day. And he was like, hey man, I need some money. And I was like, look dog, I'm also here to buy fentanyl. Leave me alone. He said, you look more like a crackhead. And I was like, well, it's funny you say that because I lied to you. I do smoke crack. I smoke crack publicly, socially really, and privately every night, Yeah. Some of you like that. Some of you like crack, apparently. For real though, I did start doing meth recently. And luckily, I have a dog, and he sees the same shadow people I do. Scares him off for me. I am in a 12-step fellowship. I've been doing that for a while, and I feel like I heard pretty much the craziest share you could have heard. It was about a man whose bottom to getting sober was January 6th. Yeah, he stormed the Capitol, and not being able to overturn Joe Biden was his bottom. He's really upset. that he couldn't do it. He didn't think that, driving drunk, committing domestic violence, losing the house, getting the kids taken away by CPS, the insane amount of times he shit the bed, vomited on himself, going to prison, being a juggalo was enough. He thought that Sleepy Joe in office was the exact reason to stop drinking. He did follow it up by saying he's going to start smoking PCP. Yeah, he heard it gives you super strength. So we'll be ready for the next election. Yeah. Phobias are weird, man. Phobias are pretty weird because some of them are real, most probably, and some of them aren't. I'm sure some of you are familiar with agoraphobia, agoraphobia. I don't know. It's a weird word. But basically it means like you're afraid, like if you leave your house, you might have like a panic attack, right? Like you might come on stage and tell jokes to strangers. That might cause panic. And it's real. That's a real phobia. And also plutophobia. What do you guys think plutophobia is a fear of? If you had to guess. The planet Pluto, it's money. It's a fear of money. Listen, that's at least what I tell the ladies, Now, we're going to get into the ones that aren't real. Homophobia. Everyone here is familiar with homophobia. The thing about homophobia is, like, I'm not afraid of gay people, I just hate them, No, I'm just kidding. I love Ellen DeGeneres and how abusive she is to her employees. Okay, that's my time. Thank you, Go Bananas. Bringing up your next comic, very funny, very talented, one of my local favorites, Blake Hammond, everyone.
Hey, one more time for Ja, huh? You can't hate gay people with green hair, but I don't know, man. I think that's in the rule book, but you look pretty gay. But maybe he just hates himself, That's funny. So I just put a special out on YouTube. People on the internet keep telling me I look like Chum-Li from Pawn Stars, and even if you don't know what that dude looks like, Chum-Li is not a hot guy's nickname. You know what I mean? Chum-Li sounds like a D-list whale from SeaWorld. Does that make sense? They're like, oh no, Shamu's sick today. Here's Chum-Li, kids. The only whale that wears a t-shirt in the pool. Here he is. Like Ja, I've been sober for 7 years. No, don't clap. Tonight's the night. I'm over it. I'm fucking done. I'm done, dude. Yeah, January 6th really fucked with me. Yeah, I thought I'd get my shit together, man. I fucking hate Joe Biden. That's fucking funny. No, when people find out I'm sober, they're like, oh, I bet drinking holidays are hard for you, like St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like, not really, because like drinking wasn't my problem, Like if there was a holiday where we snorted Percocet in the bathroom, that would be an issue. So Easter's tough, but he is risen. No. It's funny. I'm getting older now. I know I'm getting older because the things I asked for on my birthday have drastically changed, Like, because I used to ask for, like, video games and shit. But this year my mom was like, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, fuck, I don't know, blood work? And she was like, is that a game for your Xbox? I was like, nah, it's a test for my body. That's basically all I want. I would like to know if I'm gonna die. You guys know at the end of like prescription drug commercials how they'll be like, ask your doctor about whatever today. You guys know that, right? Okay. I haven't been to the doctor in 8 years, but I have been writing down questions to ask him in that time. So I thought it'd be fun to just read some of the questions I want to ask my doctor over the past decade. Is my heart healthy enough for sex? Is Cialis right for me? I can't get hard. What's up with that? Do you need your heart for sex if you don't love the person? What is love? Have you ever been in love? Can someone love you if you can't get erections? What about Lipitor? What is Lipitor? Is Lipitor for blood pressure? Do I have blood pressure? How do I get blood pressure into my penis? Can I take Viagra? Will I get an erection lasting more than 4 hours? If I get a 4-hour boner and I've already had 2 written warnings, how long will it take for them to kick me out of the public pool? Why are you calling the cops? Do I have herpes? Should I take Valtrex? Can you get herpes from canoeing? Then why are they always canoeing in the Valtrex commercial? How far does doctor-patient confidentiality go? Can I tell you something? Are you gonna get mad at me? Are you already mad at me? Sometimes I wish I had herpes so people would think I could get an erection. Oh, that's weird? Well, you're just a pediatrician. What do you know? Anyways, if you ask your doctor enough questions, I'm pretty sure they'll prescribe you Xanax. So that's basically what that is. And that's it for me, guys. Thanks so much. Oh, yeah. You guys are great. This next comic is so funny. I want you guys to make a lot of noise for ISO Radio, everybody!
Keep it going, keep it going. Blake is hilarious. Keep it going. I know you wasn't ready for that change, though. Go from a really funny fat guy to a really ministry-looking black guy. Like, I don't think you guys saw that come at all. I look like I like to do homework. I swear I do, man. I don't like my outfit. But, hey! Oh, you guys suck. All right, this is what we're gonna do. Well, since I degraded myself, I wanna talk positive. So guys, make some noise. I just moved out of my parents' basement. Make some noise for me. That's right! Yes! That's right! I'm in the living room now, so I am out of there. I am out of there, man. I feel like I'm moving up in the world. And you know what? I've tried something new. I tried to be honest with women about living in my parents' basement. Apparently, that's not attractive. You know what I mean? So I told this girl, I said, hey, listen, you're cute and all. I just want you to know up front, I live with my parents. And she was cool with it at first. Everything was cool. And then later on down the line, she was like, I mean, you're cool and all, but you living with your parents is a real turnoff. And I'm like, you didn't have to say all that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I didn't say anything about the people you live with. And she was like, what are you talking about? I live by myself. I was like, do your roaches know that? Because I don't think they pay rent in there. I saw a roach go big one time. I had to look. I was like, wait a minute. Isn't that the guy from Men in Black? Is that, what is he doing in here? What is he doing? So yeah, live with my parents. I actually tried to do, I'm gonna ask you, you got long hair. You don't look creepy. So are you open to trying new things, sir? You are? Are you guys open to trying new things, like collectively? You are? Yeah. Cool. I am. So listen, I have, again, a girlfriend, right? And I was like, listen, I asked her if she would try something new. And her response was, why would you even ask me to do something like that? And you know what I asked her to do? Cook. That's all I asked her to do. I asked her to cook a meal. She started saying stuff to me that was self-explanatory. She was like, what I need to cook for you for? 'Cause I'm hungry. What do you mean? What do I get out of this? To eat, we haven't eaten days. What are you talking about? Just look at a pot. You never know how you might feel. You know what I mean? So she was like, fine, I'll try something new if you try something new. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I brought it up. What is it? She's like, being faithful. You know what? We don't even have to cook around this house. That's not even a good thing to do. Keep the pot and pans in the back. You know, that's why they made DoorDash, for people like me. You know what I mean? That's exactly why I did that. Oh, did you guys hear that Jerry Springer passed away? I said that too excited. Let me try it one more time. Did you all hear that Jerry Springer passed away? Sad, man. That's awful. That's awful. Jerry Springer was to us what Dana White is to the UFC. You know what I mean? He brought us some of the greatest fights ever. You know what I mean? Like, that's who Jerry Springer was. And there was a video that came out, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Jerry Springer has 4 kids. 2 of them look like a lot of this audience, and then 2 of them look like me, right? So they had this whole video about him giving his estate to his children. And so he gives like all of his estate, everything he learns, everything he has, like the rights to his show, he gives that to, you guessed it, his black kids, and his white kids get stuck with a Barbie dream house. That's all they got. And I thought to myself, I said, look at Jerry Springer. Dead and still making people want to fight. You know what I mean? Like, he can't get enough of this fighting stuff, man. He just can't stop doing it, man. Shout out to him. And I'm going to get out on this last thing. You guys have been a great crowd. Fellas, clap your hands if you're here with a lady. My bad. So, fellas, we live in a time, if you want to show a lady that you're serious about her, she asks you to pay her bills. Women want their bills paid for. And I'm with them. Fellas, pay these women's bills. But pay the bill you know you can afford. Right? Pay the bill you know you can afford. This girl was like, man, if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to pay a bill. And my response was, hell, give me your library card, because I'm going to pay that bill off each and every month. That's all I can afford. So, if you need your library card, be out in the parking lot. I don't need you to make some noise for this next comedian. He's a real funny guy. I need you to make some noise. You're not doing it yet. Make some noise, make some noise. Coming to the stage, Brad Weir.
These are the most jarring transitions I've ever seen. How's everyone doing tonight? Everyone have a good time? So I saw this story basically last month in Maine. There was a story about this guy at this wedding where they got married and had a great time. And during the wedding reception, after he's married, the husband decided to do something cool for the first time, and he tried, after a couple of drinks, to do a backflip. And when he did a backflip, he broke his neck. So can you imagine doing the second worst decision in your life right after the first one? I mean, you know the bride's dad was just looking like, Kathy, why the fuck did you marry Josh? Otherwise, we just call him a fucking idiot. And I mean, just speaking of wheelchairs, I've been doing this new thing, volunteering for the Special Olympics. It's a good thing around here. I've got a couple friends, we all do it together. And recently there was an event where they were doing the basketball. And I was like, okay, me and my friends all went to that. It's a great thing to watch these kids have so much fun, so much joy. They are easy to score on, though, I will admit. And my friend was getting mad at me because Timmy just wheeled it past me, and he's just like, okay, well, I thought we were supposed to let him score. But Timmy scored 2 points, he won MVP. And when I was talking to them, I was like, Timmy, what could possibly be better than winning MVP in front of your peers? There can't be anything better. And he just looks at me and goes, yeah, Brad, there is something better. And I go, what's that? And he just looks at me and goes, walking. If it makes you feel better, I made that up. I'd never volunteer. So I'm 28 and I'm single. Anyone else single here? What's up, fellow losers? How we doing? It's funny. It's not that I can't even really find a date. The bigger issue is finding a quality woman. Like, most of the women that I talk to now, they have more red flags than fucking China. It's crazy. I talk to them and we're just having a nice conversation. They either have 3 kids or fucking herpes. And I'm not saying it's a deal breaker, but it's definitely not a bonus. So I went on a date pretty recently with this girl, and she didn't have a car because of fucking course she didn't. And I pick her up because we went to go get drinks. Doesn't have a job, believe it or not. And we're having a good time, having drinks, and it was super nice of her because I just thought it was going well. And she goes, you can come back to my place. And I was like, all right, well. this is the first time in a while. So we get back there and I go on the couch and she just looks at me and goes, I have a surprise, you just wait here. She walks into her bedroom and then I'm sitting there like, oh shit, what's she gonna do? And I swear to fucking God, she comes out in a complete clown costume, fucking nose, everything, makeup. And I was just sitting there like, I thought clowns had to have cars. It's not part of it. I thought that was part of the fucking outfit. But we fucked. Anyway, so I've been on a rabbit hole right now recently with these true crime shows. Anyone else like those? God, they're fucking great. It is really funny, though, to watch these fucking people not lawyer up during the interrogation. I mean, they're fucking on trial for murder, and they're just like, oh, I can clear this up. This will be fine. So they're sitting there in a room with two people, and they're like, Jeff, were you at the park on April 16th? And he's like, no. What park? So then they're like, do you own a gun? And he's like, well, what's a gun? Arrested. Every fucking time arrested, I've never seen someone get out of that. And what I do find even funnier than that, honestly, is when you do watch the, the dispatch calls. So when they call 911, I swear to God, every dispatch 911 person acts like it's a super inconvenience that they're calling someone for a crime. It'll be like something normal, like, hello, 911. And they're like, please help. There's a man downstairs and he just stabbed my wife. And she's like, calm down. Did you invite him in? They're like, no, we didn't fucking invite him in. Then you can just hear, ah, in the background, and she's like, please settle down, sir. You're being a little loud. So then you always go to this point where they're just, basically they're like, hey, please, I'm in the closet, what should I do? And they're like, okay, stay in there. Can you hear him? And they're like, yes, I can hear it. And then they're like, well, can you send me the address to your place? And they go, it's 156 Wilder. He goes, louder, please, I can't hear you. And then all of a sudden the person always goes, it's 156 and dead, every time. So that's my time, everybody. It's my second time ever doing it, so appreciate it. Next up to the stage, very funny comic. It's Kathy Perkins.
I don't know if I should agree with you or disagree, but thank you for helping me. Give it up for yourselves, huh? Yeah. And give it up for Gold Bananas for letting us do this here, and give it up for all the funny comics that went before me. My name is Kathy. Yeah, Kathy Perkins. I once was a farmer. Yeah, that was me, a farmer named Kathy. When my legs were spread, I was happy. And then one day, a hoof. Y'all know what a hoof is? Yeah, anybody not know what a hoof is? Right. A hoof found its way onto the side of my head. And now I might be a tad daffy. But I might have been daffy before, I just don't remember. Because it kind of fucked my memory up too. Go figure that one out. But I do know, if my memory were worse, I wouldn't know I had a bad memory. You ever walk with someone who has Alzheimer's and they say to you, you know, I have Alzheimer's. They tell me I have Alzheimer's. And I'm like, how you fucking remember that? I mean, I think that's the 50th time you told me, but it's all right, because I have a head injury, so. Yeah. I'm one of the few people you'll meet who moved to Kentucky and got off of drugs. Yeah, no, it's amazing, isn't it? I'm trying to get back on them. Anybody got a good doctor? Because I keep going to the doctor and they tell me I'm fine. Huh? Yeah, like we'll figure that out. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I just recently, this is depressing, I'm not going to tell you that. I went to the doctor because my right leg, that's my good leg, blew up 3 times the size of my left leg. And so I went to the doctor. Now, mind you, it took 3 days to get there. And I did self-medicate in that time. So by the time I got to the doctor, it was only twice the size. And you know, they said I was fine. I said, what about some drugs? Can I get you? They said, there's nothing wrong with you. So I'm one of the few people in Kentucky. Well, I'm not in Kentucky now. I'm in Ohio, but y'all, I'm probably the sickest, healthiest person you'll ever meet. I'm just saying. You see my feathers? Did y'all know it's peacock breeding season? Huh? Did you? Yeah. Along with thoroughbred breeding season. And do you know that peacocks lose their tails at the end of breeding season? Yeah, well, I thought you know. And do you know the men dress up? I'm sure you don't know about men who dress up. But do you all know that the men dress up for the women? Yeah, and they wear these beautiful feathers, and they got this little breeding dance. They go like this, and they twirl around, and they scratch, and they do that, and their feathers just flutter. It's the fucking sexiest thing I've ever seen. And do you know? Yeah, I watch porn, live porn. Live porn, peacock porn. I bet y'all didn't know this either. Peacocks, they don't have a peacock. They have no cock. Yeah, you got a male and a female doing lesbian sex. Huh? They don't even strap one on. Not this one. Okay, so we've had some sober people up here. I am not sober. I'm a functioning alcoholic. Yes, indeed. That's it. What else? You have to let me know. I see that light and that light. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Steady light. Thank you very much. My name is Kathy Perkins. Next up to the stage is someone I don't know. So I can't tell you if they're funny or not, but I assume since they're here in a comedy club, they're one of the funniest. Bring on, come, give a nice warm welcome for Josh O'Neill. And Josh, I need help down.
I'm so fucking funny, it's ridiculous. Kathy Perkins, everybody! Oh my God. None of you laughed when she said she was off drugs. She just lied to you and you believed her. That was wild. Personally, I think Mitch Hedberg looks great. All right, hey everybody. Hi, hello. Good to see you. Mitch Hedberg's still alive, fucking wild. All right, hey, hi everybody. I'm gonna do some jokes. I'm Josh, really quickly. Fun fact about me, I love Halloween. That's my favorite holiday. I love Halloween, man. It's the one day of the year you can ask children who the fuck they think they are. I love it. It's a good time. Grown adults will ask me what I've become, and I don't break down weeping. It's a good time. I don't know. I feel like when we get older, we still do costumes, but we try to elevate it. We try to do like high concept stuff. It goes over my head every time, you know? Like, you guys know what a Freudian slip is? Like that impulsive expression of your sexual desires. I didn't know what that was. And my friend told me last year they went as a Freudian slip for Halloween. I was just like, you went as my sister's hot little ass for Halloween? All right, that's the end of the joke. All right, ridiculous. Stand-up's fun. I do mostly jokes. A lot of comics are doing crowd work now. I kind of want to get in on that, so I'm going to do some crowd work really quickly. All right, let's see. How's it going? How's it going? All right, cool. Quick question. What do you do?
I build decks.
Build decks. Fuck. Okay. Fuck! I've ruined everything. I think I messed up. I think I did mess up. I think I messed up. I'll tell you why. I got pretty nervous. Did I just say, what do you do? Is that all I said?
Yeah.
I just said, what do you do? That's so embarrassing. All right, let me try it again. So is this your girlfriend right here? My wife. Very cool. How fun. All right, so let's say you die while she's in labor. And then like 10 minutes later, you wake up. You've been reincarnated as her baby. You're fully aware of what's happening. What do? You know? Bill Dex? I would hit on my mom, you fucking weirdo. What a weirdo. That guy rode in on the Weirdmobile, that guy. Jesus. Oh, you guys are fun. This might divide you. Let's see how it goes. I think this is a hot take of mine. I think we need to cancel Susan B. Anthony. Let's shut her down. She's had it too good for too long. Whenever I say that, people come to her defense. They're like, Josh, she helped women get the right to vote. Yeah, white women, and that was it. She didn't help anybody else. She actually oppressed black people from voting, which is crazy because Susan B. Anthony was black. Because if she was white, her name would be Susan is Anthony. And that's just grammar. Whites love grammar. I'm just saying, women be shopping Susan B. Anthony. That's kind of... Jesus. If you didn't like that joke, that is transphobic. She is the first Susan to be Anthony, technically. All right, I'm being edgelordy. That sucks. All right. You guys are fun. I'll get out of here on this one dumb thing. I read an article recently about a woman who has 1,000 letters in her full name. 1,000. That's wild. I did the math. Mine's only 20. That's insane, right? To paint a picture, if your name was 1,000 letters, your name would just have to be a scene from a movie. I did the math on that. That's like if you met your new boss and he was just like, please, do not call me Mr. Smith. That is so formal. Please, feel free to call me. You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago, and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words as the backbone of a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. And I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man that rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said thank you and went your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to. Did I order the code red? You're goddamn right I did! I mean, please, Mr. Smith is my father, honestly. All right, that's it for me, guys. I'm Josh. Thank you so much. Hey, we're going to keep this show rolling. Then bring up your next comic. Very funny. Give it up, everybody, for Jack Timmons.
Josh O'Neill one more time, everybody. Come on. Despicable Me Too. It's what the movie was. I just turned 26. Not one person. That's cool. That just makes it sad. I turned 26. You know what they say when you turn 26? They say, happy birthday, Jack. Happy 26th birthday, man. You did it. You did it. I don't know. 26 is a weird age because it's that age where I kind of wish I tried to become an adult 4 years ago so that I would have insurance now. But, all things considered, it's pretty cool. I'm trying to be more of an adult. So I looked up my credit score for the first time the other day, and if you don't think you have a credit score, you do. And it's not good. So Little heads up. I looked it up. It said the number, and then underneath it, it gave a one-word description of the number. It just said poor. Which I feel like they could have just said bad. I would have understood. I don't know what the extra fuck you was for on that one. I'm like one collections notice away from being Jesus Christ, man. It's pretty good though. I am kind of, my fears are changing a little bit as I get older. You know, I don't want to die or anything. I'm afraid of dying in general, but I think my biggest fear is what they would do with my body after I pass. Because I told a buddy one time that I want to be cremated when I die, but the further I get away from that point, the more afraid I am that he thinks I said cream pied. And nobody's going to have fun with that, you know? This is my family at the funeral home. He walks in, he's like, I don't want to be here, but it's what he wanted, so... I think like my second biggest fear right now is probably, I've never been robbed in gunpoint. I'm gonna knock on wood right there, just cause. Anybody in here ever been? It's your lucky fucking day then. No, what if I just? I've pictured the scenario in my head, and I've done it in a couple different ways. And you know, in my opinion, I don't think. Like, one gun I feel like is like, okay, you mean business. I don't think a second gun makes it any scarier if you're getting robbed at gunpoint. No one's like, oh, you don't think I'm gonna rob you? Well, how about now? Well, you can't even rob somebody with two guns. You don't have, give me your wallet. And then they just put it between the two guns. And walk away? What? The only thing dumber would be like a bow and arrow. You're just like, just put it in my pocket. Put it in my pocket and take 10 steps back. I think the older I get, my biggest fear though is just someone, and this may be a little bit of a stretch, it's just literally anyone publicly accusing me of being a pedophile. And that is, like, you're a pedophile. See how scary that was? See how scary that was? And there's no defense for it either. You're just like, no. No, I'm not. What? Oh, hell. I wanted to close on a longer bit, but I do not have time. Guys, thank you very much. That's my time. I'm Jack Timmons. We're going to keep it rolling, though. Are you guys ready for your next comedian? Guys, give it up right now for the very funny Kevin Kennedy, everyone. Come on.
All right, folks. As Jack kind of mentioned, I guess I would be one of the people in the room who has been held up, but we'll get to that in a minute. You see, I'm actually lucky to be here in general, because God wants to kill me. I'm convinced of it. Absolutely 100%. Started when I was little. So my mom worked as a reporter for years and would carry me around, because who the hell can afford daycare? And she managed in all of her 5-foot redheaded wisdom to piss off the local militia. Not only were we called to a shootout, but the bullets were going over our heads as I was sitting behind a car eating McDonald's. I'm still here and I still have all my limbs. Okay, we're doing good. 5, tried to jump off the roof, thought I was Mary Poppins. I can sing, I can't fly. Then there was learning to drive. Let's see. Get to an intersection, doesn't have a stop sign for me, has a stop sign for the other person. Anybody driving in Ohio already knows where this is going. That son of a bitch blew right through the stop sign, cut me in front of me, and I barely understood how the brake worked at this point, so I was screaming at my mom, she was screaming at me. The other person was probably listening to, I don't know, Barry Manilow, and just tootling along. Kept going, got into a hairpin turn with a water truck, right in my lane. I understand people need water. I need to live. My one rule in life, don't get me killed. It's almost been broken by me a lot, by friends a couple times. Corollary to that, if we get pulled over, I don't speak English, and you're deaf. Luckily, I'm fluent in Spanish, so sí, es posible, pero... But, gets better. My buddy Morgan, who's a Marine, and I, now, again, my lovely mother, she taught me so many things. Like how to make contact explosives. So I'm with a soon-to-be ex-Marine, hopefully. He's getting tired of it. We would fill DOTS boxes with black powder, get a piece of string, try to use it as a fuse. Didn't work. Did not work. Yeah, I mean, you've seen Saving Private Ryan, now imagine Saving Private Kevin. I'm running with my ass in the wind like, nope, I do not want to get blown up today, thank you, maybe tomorrow, Now, it doesn't stop just nationally. It's international as well. Now, my family fought in World War II in different aspects, and you would think the Germans would understand that they lost. They don't. They got their revenge on me with a bacon and cheese croissant from a train station. The food poisoning was horrendous to the point where I nicknamed it the Schitzkrieg. Imagine being on a train, a bumpy train, where the bathroom isn't the largest. I am a rather large man. Every time you hit a bump, not only are you praying to God, you're also hoping that things just stay where they're supposed to stay. Now it gets better. I almost secured my ticket to hell on the same trip. We go to one of the oldest churches in Germany, and I'm talking old, like when Martin Luther was a kid. Has a baptismal font. I'm still feeling kind of off. I'm like, maybe it's gonna get worse, maybe it's gonna get better. Let's play this game. 100 steps leading up, going through the door. Everything is jostled inside, and I'm going, oh shit, because first you say it, then you do it. I get into the church, and I'm sitting there running around thinking, I gotta go somewhere here. My stomach starts doing flips. There's the baptismal font. The first thing I think is, I can't do that. If I do that, not only will God finally kill me, but I'll secure my ticket to hell. In the meantime, I don't need the help. I'm doing all right on my own. So I take off running down the steps again, get back to the hotel, and we're fine. Takes a couple days, but we're good. Fast forward to Mexico. In southern Mexico, in a part where if you're this pale, not only do you burn, but you stand out. They told us, you know, at one of our hotels, stay inside, don't sleep outdoors, even there's a hammock, stay outside, stay inside, do not go outside. Even the professors got confused, they were outside like 8 o'clock, but whatever. So they say if we stay outside, then we'll get kidnapped by local rebels from the Guatemalan border. Now again, large man, I think to myself, do I want them getting me when they're pissed off and having to break a door down? Or can I just sleep outside? I slept outside because if any son of a bitch is brave enough to drag me, all 300 pounds, through the jungle, they can take me. I speak the language, I'll become a leader, it'll be great. I always wanted a counter-revolution. I always wanted it. I'll have to buy sunscreen somewhere. Now, the fun part, getting held up, getting to the good part. So, hotel, southern Mexico. We have to get a puddle jumper flight. Where I shit you not, a guy on board had a chicken and a couple of crates with small pigs. It was an interesting
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your next comic, Mr. David Darling.
What up? Man, so I work at a factory now, man. My first factory. It's in the middle of nowhere, Urbana, Ohio. Fucking hate it. I think I'm like the first black person they ever hired. There's like no black people in here on my assembly line. Thing that pisses me off is every time a white dude walks by me, he's like, hey, bud. Hate that shit. Makes me feel small. I kind of feel like they're subliminally calling me the N-word. You know what I mean? Now I try to beat them to it. I'm like, nope. Hey, bud. Now you're the nigga. The only good thing about it is it pays really good. So I just bought my first house. You know what I mean? Yeah, just bought my first house. I'm excited, man, because I have 5 fucking children. Yeah, you want to make it 6? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I got 5 children, man, so I'm excited because they're all going to have their own room, man. You know what I mean? Growing up, there was 6 of us in a 2-bedroom. I had no privacy. I had to go next door to the cornfield by our apartment complex to masturbate. Yeah. I'm serious, man. I'd be over there making cream corn like Del Monte and Green Giant. I'm just glad my kids won't have to be children of the corn, you know? A little more about me, man. I'm a twin. My mom actually had 2 sets of twins. My younger brothers are identical. Me and my twin are fraternal. So we're not like that much alike. He's actually gay and I'm straight. I am straight, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Anyways, I hate being a twin because everybody always mixes us up. It's like I don't have my own life. They always just lump us together. You know what I mean? I was out on a date one day with a woman, and this gay dude approached my table. He's like, hey, Duran. Duran's my twin. He's like, hey, Duran, you never called? Like, was it something I said? Are you mad I didn't pay the bill? I'm like, no, man, I'm Damon. He must not have told you he has a twin. Like, I'm not the one. Like, no offense. Turn around, try to explain to my date real quick. She's already getting up, walking away. No saving that. I turn back around. He's still there. So I said, fuck it, went home with him. God's plan. No, I really miss my twin brother though, man, because he's actually transitioning now. You know what I mean? And it's like he doesn't act the same, he looks different. It's hard on me too, you know what I mean? I miss my brother. I think the main thing that bugs me is I have to admit that my sister has a bigger dick than me. I'm serious, man. The last time he came to visit, he just kept whipping it out and bragging and shit, doing the helicopter. I was like, come on, yo, that's not very ladylike. I'm 7.5 years sober. That's not a joke, I really am. 7.5 years. Alcohol was my thing. I just couldn't keep it in its place, man. Like, my alcoholism got bad. It got bad to the point where I tried to steal it one time from a Walgreens. Yeah. Went in, straight back to the booze, grabbed a case of beer, started walking towards the exit. There's some young cool kid working the counter. I'm like, man, he not gonna give a damn. Started going out the door. He was like, hey, man, you gotta pay for that. I just sped up and shit. Got out to the parking lot. I looked back to make sure the coast was clear, and there he was, man, coming at me. So we got to tussling over this case of beer. I'm a grown man struggling with a teenager. Finally, I got pissed off. I said, hey, man, you're a teenager working at Walgreens. Why do you care so much, man? Please let me have the damn 12-pack. He wasn't budging, though, man. Cardboard ripped. Beers flew all over the place. I got the hell out of there before the cops came. Super embarrassing. I ran into him, though, the next day in the break room while we were clocking in. He said, my bad about last night, man. I'm just really gunning for Employee of the Month. I've been Damon Darling. Make some noise for your next comic, Randall Davidson.
Just to stay with the trend tonight, I think that it's important I tell you all I'm about 24 hours sober. I'll tell you that. So I was at my mom's house for Mother's Day, and the topic of stand-up comedy came up. My 11-year-old niece asked me, what is stand-up comedy? So I told her. And then she looks at me very confidently, and she says, I got a joke, and it's really good. And I was like, whatever you're about to say, I'm using it, so let's do it. Now this, remember, she is 11, and this does require some participation, but you'll know what to do. You guys ready? Knock, knock. Who's there? Donkey. Donkey who? donkey, that guy that just cut you off. About the same reaction we had. Yep, about the same reaction. But if you think about it, the 11-year-old made the connection that someone that cuts you off and a donkey are both jackasses. Not bad for an 11-year-old. So then she says to me, tell me a joke, and I said, okay. First time I ever went to a strip club, I was lied to. You see, I didn't want to go because I thought the whole situation seemed uncomfortable. If you think about it, it's a bunch of men in a room, all paying money to get boners while trying not to get a boner. That just didn't seem like a game that I would be good at, so I didn't want to go. You see, I don't know strip club etiquette. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you do get a boner. Am I supposed to just try to hide it? Should I tell my friends about it? What if I notice that my friend has a boner? Do I acknowledge it? What if we both notice we both got boners at the same time? Do I give him a high five? Fist bump? Do I maybe run over there and give him a little chuck tap? You see, I didn't know what to do, so I didn't want to go. My friends knew this about me, so they lied to me. They told me that we were going to be going to a bikini bar. It's like a mock strip club. There'll be a stage with dancing, but the girls will never show more than a bikini, and I'm naive, so I believe them. We get there, we walk inside, it's a dimly lit room, there's a stage with a pole, light shining, but there is nobody there. So we get some drinks from the bartender. Okay, I lied, the bartender was there. We get some drinks from the bartender, have a seat, and then it comes up, and I am voted 8-1 by my friend group that I need to go sit by the stage because that is going to get a performer to come out. Okay, so as I'm sitting there, at the time I'm about 22, and I notice this woman walk in the front door. She's probably in her mid-40s. She puts her stuff down at the bar, and then she looks across and she sees me sitting at the stage. She makes a beeline for the stage. She walks straight out, stands directly in front of me, and she just makes eye contact with me. As she's staring at me, she slowly bends down. At this point, her knees are about 6 inches from my face. While still making eye contact with me, she slowly spreads her legs open. It was in that moment I realized my friends had lied to me. So as I'm just staring into this lady for about what seemed like 9 hours, I felt a pat on my head, and I looked up, and she's still staring directly into my eyes. And then she gives me a wink. And that wink was confirmation that her and I were both aware of the same 3 things. 1, she had just unlocked a deep fetish inside of me I did not know that I had. 2, I no longer needed to worry about what if I got a boner in front of my friends. Because 3, I just had my first soft orgasm. And then my niece says, I don't get it. I recently started living alone, and this is the first time that I've ever lived alone in my life. Now, going into this, I had expectations of what I thought this would be like. I thought I was going to keep the place clean, I was going to meal prep, I was going to work out, I was going to be the king of the castle. This is my place. In reality, I fucked my couch. And I wish that I could tell you that it was one nightstand, but it was my couch. You could say that I was literally using the cushion for the pushing. At this point, I'm convinced that there is no gap that I won't tap. Now, you may be sitting there thinking that I'm the only weirdo that's done something like this. But let me tell you a secret. Now, this secret is actually for the ladies in the room, and fellas, I'm really sorry to do this to you. But every man in this room has stuck their dick in something that they don't want to tell you about. If you don't believe me, on your car ride home today, ask them and see if they tell you the truth. All right, thank you guys so much. That is my time. Next coming up is the very funny Justin Moores.
Let's keep that going, guys. Randall's pretty funny, huh? It's a good-looking crowd, most of it. I'm excited to be here. I had to drive a really long way. I know I look like a human cigarette. I also smell like cigarettes. Yeah. We'll talk about my heritage a little bit.
It's mostly white trash. Yeah, I inherited some things from my dad, not money. Like his looks though, you know, which is cool. My dad's a good looking guy. Somehow I got my mom's dick. If anybody didn't like that, I guess you could suck my mom's dick. I like doing comedy though. I've been doing this for only a couple of months. Still pretty new at it. My favorite thing is to smoke weed in the green room. My not favorite thing is that's what I've been calling my car. Yeah, one of your guys' grandma caught me earlier, dude. My bad. I was out there. Yeah, I do like coming down here like to this area to do comedy. It's always kind of a split crowd though, you know. You don't want to say something too offensive. Not a whole lot of people want to hear a gay joke, especially my boyfriend. Any stoners in here? Yeah? Yeah, dude. Yeah, you look like Salt Life for real, bro. Like, yeah, I like smoking pot. I try to smoke a little bit of weed before I go up. I might drink a little bit too, and then, you know, to alleviate the nervousness, I'll masturbate. I didn't have a whole lot of time to do it though, so like I'll turn around. Does this door work? Like, it says private bar, but I'm pretty sure it's just drywall. But I feel like coming here. It's a pretty good room, you know, pretty big room. There's way more white people in here than I'm comfortable with. Most of you look like the family that doesn't talk to me anymore. I may have an aunt here. I'm pretty sure I drove her by myself though. Like I said, white trash. Some don't fuck each other, man. Like you gotta win some, you lose some. Family first though, you know. You don't have to laugh at that. What you did. Yeah. Some lady accused me of being a cop at a mic that I was at the other day. And I was thinking, like, what part of my outfit, my yellow chip teeth, were you not paying attention to? But that's a really weird way to tell someone you feel safe. That's all I really took from that. Yeah, I was drunker than her, though. Apparently it was her birthday. It was my mom. What fucking whatever. My mom actually works in healthcare, which is cool, you know. Some of your moms do, too. They white girl mood. Yeah, you know what? Give it up for them real quick. You know, a couple of you probably in the room. Yeah, I'm gonna be the old dude that fucking bites you, so like this is what the pre-biting people looks like. No, you hear crazy shit though, like when your mom works in healthcare, because you love your mom, you know. You want to protect her, and then she's like, Gary fucking punched me yesterday, and I was like, I guarantee I can kick Gary's fucking ass, alright? Another thing, I'm getting older, so I turned 30 this year. Don't know if anybody likes 30, but I'm looking for a girlfriend, sadly, because I need rides and shit sometimes. Now I'm getting older, I found out I had a skill. I'm a pretty good fisherman. My favorite style of fishing is hat fishing. Yeah, you can laugh at my hairline, it's fine. Yeah, I'll hat fish a girl until we get married. But then, you know, one day I gotta tell her, hey, I'm hung like my mom. My name's Justin Moores. You guys been great. Welcome, and next up to the stage is Mountain Dew Mike. Go Bananas, how we feeling tonight? Yeah, pretty energetic. Gotta thank my parents. The second they heard about this, they decided to invite all their friends like instantly. Did they show up? Yeah. All right. That's good. A little bit about myself. I actually graduated on Saturday. Yeah. Thank you. I'm also 18, ladies. So apart from doing comedy, I'm also a ride operator at Kings Island. I actually got a few of my coworkers here. Yeah. Get paid $15 an hour to say clear. Hey, by the way, your restraint's up. But on the way up here, I had a cop tailing me. We all know that feeling. Start tensing up, heart racing.
Then they just go turn off and you're just like, close. But no, I've had my run-ins with them before. Happened to me the first year I got my license. That was fun. School teaches you many things, but they don't teach you what to do if you get pulled over by a cop. So I'm running late to work, and apparently they got planes now. Don't know how many of you guys know this. They have a little guy up there, just stopwatch. Right there, get him. So yeah, I was a victim of that. I'm chilling, just rocking out to some Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I listen to Limp Bizkit. You can judge me in the parking lot later. So I see the dot and I'm like, oh. I look at my speedometer and I see it's like kind of teetering to 80. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, I'll slow down a bit. Too like, pulled over. I'm like nervous. I'm like trying to dig through. So he gets to the window. Says the usual, license or registration. By the way, I didn't get you, the plane did. So I'm like digging through and he's like, do you know how fast you were going? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Tells me I went 88. I was like, first response, and this was my mistake. Man, only if I was in a DeLorean. I can tell you for a fact that was not the cop's reaction. Not even a smile. So I get my ticket and all that, and the unfortunate thing about me getting this my first year is I could not hide that from my parents. They found out about that real quick. I just left it on the table for them and just let my fate happen. So I got to show up to court for it, and that's a whole funny story itself, actually. So get taken out of school for that, have my dad's dress shirt, and I couldn't find a pair of dress pants, so I had to borrow my dad's, and it's about like 2 sizes larger than me. And you know metal detectors in federal buildings, you got to take your belt off for that, right? Yeah, you guys can see where this is going. So we go through the metal detector for the Hamilton County Courthouse, and I'm having to walk like there, like looking like a rapper in the early 2000s at this point. So then we realize we're actually in the wrong courthouse. We're supposed to go to the juvenile courthouse. So my mom's worried we're going to be late, so I'm having to run through the streets of downtown Cincinnati just trying to get my belt back on to have to take it off once we get to the courthouse. Again. So finally we're waiting there, and apparently it ran after an hour because they take a whole group of people these days that are in there for the same reason as you. The magistrate gives a whole spiel about driving, you know, the usual, you realize that driving's very dangerous and all that. And he tells us, you're gonna go up there, admit to your ticket or deny the claim, say if you wanna take the diversion route or not, be on your way. So I thought, okay, it's gonna be as simple as that. First name, Michael David Swanser. Oh, here we go. Michael David Swanser, it says that here you are going 88 miles an hour on I-71, and when asked, do you know how fast you were going? You replied, man, only if I was in a DeLorean. Do you admit to your ticket? Yes. A little nervous, I don't know what he's gonna ask next. Do you want to take the diversion route? Yes. Do you do the chores at home when you're asked? Yes. Is your mom a good mother? She's right behind me. Don't know what else I can really say. Then he gets to the part where he's trying to like pretty much guilt me into going 88 miles an hour because I was running late to work. He's like, if you were to call your mom and say, Mom, I'm on I-71 and I'm going 88 miles an hour because I think I'm going to be late to work, do you think she'd be scared? So, I don't know. I knew I messed up immediately because he was like, you don't know? And I was like, well, and I was like, yes, because I really don't know my mom. My mom's kind of the same way. She doesn't like being late. For all I know, he'd be like, hey, I'm going 88. Why are you going 88? So, 88, hit that to 100. All right, well, that's all the time I got, guys. Thank you. This is my debut. Next up to the stage, please welcome Mikey Biggs.
Give it up for Mountain Dew Mike one more time. Yes, that guy is awesome. He'll never be sober. I'd buy a beer from Mountain Mike any day, and Mountain Dew Mike, and their cousin, Hill Larry. All right. How's it going? How we doing? You guys, you're a couple, right? Yeah? You guys watch porn together? No? You watch porn. You just don't want to share with her? You say no? You liar. You lied on your queen's name? You swear on her life you don't watch porn? You fucking pervert. You watch all kinds of porn, dude. You're addicted to porn, I bet. You love porn. I see it in your eyes. Let me touch your head. I can tell what category you like. Let her watch your porn, dude. I think porn's cool, man. I think porn in relationships, that's good, you know? If you like the same kind of porn, it's good. You know, I think it speaks to how compatible you are, you know, with each other. And if you don't, how not. I dated a girl who was very into gangbang porn. I hit the panic button on that pretty quick. To be fair, I didn't know what it was till she showed me. I was like, this is what you like, huh? That's interesting. I judged her. I did. I judged her pretty hard. I'm a piece of shit for that, right? I guess, you know. But she said, you can't judge me. This is my beef. You can't judge me because it's a fantasy. It's not real. And I was like, this feels more like procrastination than fantasy. I feel like you can have a gangbang. I feel like any girl can have a gangbang. You're treating a gangbang like doing your taxes. You're like, that's a lot of numbers right now. I can't even. I gotta call my bank and see if I can even afford a gangbang. I can't. I just ate. I don't know. The porn I watch is a fantasy. You know, I can't have it. It's a dude. He's got this big dick. And it's not real. Can't have that. Okay. Can't go get that. All right. No matter where I look. You like that? You didn't like the gangbang stuff. You like that? You're sick. You're a twisted lady. You're mean as shit, aren't you? I'm kind of, whatever, dude. I read online that eating pussy can lead to throat cancer. Yeah, it's tough news. Yeah. Women coming, potentially deadly for men. So, is it that important? Is it? I don't believe it though. I don't think it's true. I think the ops wrote that. I think that was definitely the ops. No, I think whoever wrote that. It almost feels like a bunch of guys who don't get pussy came together to write that article, right? They were like, no, we could get pussy, but it's dangerous, and not a lot of people are aware of the risks with pussy. It's crazy in there, dude. There's the guy is pretending to know. There's fairies. It's a dragon, I think. It's behind her knee, right? The pussy's behind. It's not a bad way to go out, though. As far as cancers go, that's a pretty cool cancer, right? It's like, that's a flex, you know? It's like, dude, I heard your grandpa died from ALS. What a bitch. My grandpa has a hole in his neck. He can't talk unless he holds a vibrator to it. He's gonna die like a fucking man. He's making grandma's legs do the wiggle, dude. Imagine this. Imagine this, go bananas. Imagine a world where there's men dropping like flies. There's an epidemic of men affected by this. And then there's no. All right, you guys settle the fuck down over here. There'd be infomercials for attorneys, you know, they'd be like, if you or a loved one been affected by pussy delioma. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys. I'm Mikey Biggs. Get very loud for this guy, very funny. Spencer DeVolke, everybody.
Keep it going for Mikey Biggs. How you guys? How about it? What do you do to this thing, brother?
Uh-oh. Everybody got nervous for me. Has he ever done this before? I haven't. Anyway, God, it's a lot of pussy talk, huh? Okay. Good energy to start. God, I'm blowing it in front of everybody. All right, sorry, here we go. My dad thinks our phones are tracking us. But he also thought that Twitch was a dating app for people with Tourette syndrome, so that's a tough one. Take that with a grain of salt, Pops. Crazy cough from over there. Nobody heard it, good. How are you guys? Good. Great. Is everybody getting their fucking checks right now? Yeah, all right, good. Well, guess who brought a lot of people their food and drinks tonight? Oh, sorry. Oh, no. You give it up for Carter and Ellen. They're the real servers. I did nothing. Yeah, there we go. Wasting my fucking time. All right. My dad is a good guy, though. God, I'm bombing already. Jesus Christ. My dad, when I was a kid, I came home from school one time. My dad was asking me if there were any girls I liked in my class, and the conversation got quiet. And he looked at the floor, and then he looked up at me, and he goes, "You know, Spencer, if you want to wait till you're married to have sex, that's totally okay with me." I was just like, I don't. I don't know what I was doing that made you think that. I'm actually trying to have it tomorrow if I can. That'd be great. I was like, Dad, is that what you did? He's like, nah, I'm not a fucking pussy, but just trying to give you advice. Are you guys horny? Not right now, sorry, not right now. I'm not trying to be gross. Like as people. Are you guys horny people? Okay. Couple people coming. I'm not horny. Definitely not right now, but also as a person. But all my friends are horny. Like all my guy friends. All my boys are getting pegged. What happened to my fucking boys, dude? Somebody say they grew up? Hey, I'll tell you what, I do not want to live in your house at all. That sounds like a nightmare. Pegging is when you're so bored of regular sex, you're like, hey, what if we introduce plastic and also my asshole? They all try to convince me to try it. And they all say the same thing. They all turn into fucking doctors. They're just like, well, Spencer, you know, the male G-spot is in the asshole. It's like, yeah, maybe. But is life just about coming as hard as you possibly can? You know what I mean? There's gotta be more to existence than just blowing your sack wide open in the bedroom, right? I'm not trying to push the boundaries of how hard man can come. I still just like the regular front way of coming. Hello? Leave a big tip, guys, because this matters. I don't drink. It's deathly silent in here. Like, yeah. I don't like, my friends all get too fucked up. Like, you guys have a friend that they get so drunk they turn into a vampire? Like, you guys are that drunk right now, shut up. But, like you'll be at the bar and you don't see them for a couple minutes, and then you see them all the way across the bar and they're like this. And you're like, dude, what the fuck happened to you? And they're like, I want to suck your dick. All right, you guys, that's my time. Give it up for everybody you've seen so far. And let's keep that energy going for your next comic. Everybody, the very funny Miles Johnson.
Hello. Hello. Look at all these whites. I personally, I'm just gonna say this. I love you whites. And not just the ones here either. I mean all of them. Except British people. I don't much care for those fellas. I feel like I was reading up on British people. So you guys heard of Hong Kong? It's going somewhere. So Hong Kong, it was a colony in China. It was a British colony in China, which begs the question: who named it? You know, the Chinese named it. It's like, yeah, okay, that's I guess. But the British named it. Yikes, you know. Let's name it Hong Kong, or however those fuckers talk. Is Ching Chong taken? Perhaps Bing Bong is the capital. These British fucks. I like white people. Besides those guys. I like Wiggers a lot. Wiggers are cool. Wiggers are sick, dude. I can say Wigger, by the way. One of my best friends was a Wigger. He said, "You can say it, right?" You got the W pass. They're cool. Wiggers are cool. They're just like nerds. They're just nerds. They're nerds, but their thing is black. Black. They're just like anime kids. They're like, "What's your favorite anime?" And it's like, Boys in the Hood. That's my favorite anime. Where's your guy? Most underrated Wigger of all time, Harry Potter. Harry Potter. If you're familiar, if you guys know the works of J.K. Rowling, there's a certain word they're not supposed to be saying. You know, that's Voldemort. You know, that's you know who. That's he who must not be named. Hey Harry, maybe stop saying that word so loudly in public. Harry, that word's for the dark wizards. All right? That's for dark wizards, Harry. You're an Anglo-Saxon wizard. You're not supposed to be saying shit like that in public. And don't get me wrong, Harry. There was a time we were all saying it. Death Eaters in this neighborhood? Are you kidding me? And Harry's just looking over at him. He's just looking at Hagrid, and he's just like, "Hey, that motherfucker killed my motherfucking daddy, G. And my mama almost got my ass. Look at this shit right there. Fuck that Uncle Tom Riddle ass motherfucker. Free my nigga Sirius Black. He didn't do nothing wrong. It was that little rat, Peter." You know, Voldemort was a metaphor for a black guy too, because he was the only wizard that held his wand like this. Like inside, what is it? Like an Avada Kedavra, bitch. I'm about to air out the wand. Wiggers are cool. Wiggers they think black people are cool. People like black people. Most people do. They like our culture, anyways. But I feel like people it's like birds. Like you ask somebody, do you like black people? He's like, yeah, of course I do. You like everything about black people? They can be a little loud sometimes. I don't want my daughter dating a bird. I love their music. I don't know what the hell they're saying in their music. You see a bird at Whole Foods, you go, I don't think he's here to buy anything. Well, you guys will be cool again once we do white slavery. Then you guys will be cool. Out in the fields in the Air Force One plantation. Just singing your little song. I hate slavery. Slavery sucks. There's white slave hymns. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you guys. That's my time. Thanks. Are you guys ready for your final comic of the evening? Oh, yeah. Guys, get real loud for the one, the only, Mark Shalifo.
Keep it going for everybody you guys have seen tonight. I think we've all learned a lot tonight. We have. I, for one, have learned that I should probably not take my kids to Kings Island as much as I do. I mean, it's a great place. It's awesome. You know, it's great. But it's like my kids, they know I do stand-up because I travel a lot for stand-up. But it's still going to be a little bit weirder when I take them to Kings Island. I'm like, all right, let's get on, you know, the merry-go-round. Oh, but before you do, sweetie, let me introduce you to my work colleague, Mountain Dew Mike. He can teach you about court. My kids are young. I like having kids, man. I like being a dad. I never realized how much I wanted to have 2 kids until I had 3 kids. That's too many kids. I know it's too many because I took the littlest one in for a doctor's appointment and the nurse asked me her birth date and I could not remember it. I said winter. They do not take that at the doctor's office. And it's hard because it's easy to remember the birthdays of the older 2, right? Because those are my passwords. And now that I'm a 3rd kid, my life is settled. I don't need new passwords, you know? Like my first daughter, she's my email password, the key to everything else in my life. 2nd kid, all right, I've got a little bit of money now. I've got a mortgage. She's my bank password. 3rd kid, Disney Plus. Do you even need Disney Plus? Not sure that I do, honestly. My wife likes Disney Plus, though. She wants a 4th, my wife. So we are trying for a 4th kid now. No luck yet. My wife seems to think it's got something to do with the moon. I think it's got something to do with the vasectomy, but we'll keep that between us, okay? Keep that between us. I've got 3 daughters, and when people hear that, they're like, oh, you gonna try for that boy? 3 girls, you gonna try for a boy? No! Why would I do that? I have 3 awesome daughters. It's like, what, nobody wants to go to the game with me? Okay, I guess I'll just go with my friends. It's way more fun. I do think it's easier raising girls than it is raising boys. And I was talking, like my oldest is 10. When she's on like the iPad, she's like looking at little nature videos and stuff. I was talking to a mom a few weeks ago. She told me she caught her 10-year-old son Googling world's prettiest naked ladies. I was like, that is so adorable. The prettiest in the whole world. That's how it starts, you know? I didn't have the courage to tell this mom that that little boy is just 3 days away from Googling fat sluts near me, you know? That's the porn journey for guys. The sex stuff, that's always awkward anytime you have to deal with that with your kids. I was talking to this mom, and she told me that her 11-year-old daughter found out about sex at school, and she wasn't ready to have that conversation with her kid. Her daughter just came home from school one day with an angry look on her face. She just marched right up to her mom. She was like, Mom, have you ever let Dad put his penis in your mouth? She was not prepared to have this conversation, so all she came up with was, not today. That kid is scarred for life. I know, it is, here's what I need to work on, I've learned as a dad, is I go from like 0 to 60 too fast, especially with girls, right? Like my cute little 4th grader came home and told me that there was this girl, Kaylee, who was bullying her. And I just sat my daughter down and was like, sweetie, listen. This is what we're gonna do. We are gonna stay up all night writing roast jokes about Kaylee. Now, I know her parents sleep in different bedrooms. We can use that, okay? I just went too hard, too fast. I took our little 3-year-old to the park, and this little 4-year-old girl came right up to my kid and said, I don't like you, and hit my daughter, right? And she wasn't hurt by it or anything, but she was very scared and confused in this moment. And all my kid could come up with to say, she just said, but I'm nice. That crushed me as a dad watching my sweet little kid deal with that. And so I removed her from the situation, right? But I did it while saying stuff loud enough to make sure the other family would hear us too. You know, I was like, sweetie, come on, let's go get away from the mean girl with the fucked up teeth. 0 to 60 every time. It's just hard to avoid it. I do like it. My middle one, she's a first grader. Here's what I hate about it, right? Here's one thing I hate about having kids. They're all narcs. You don't realize that. Do we have any teachers in the audience? Round of applause. When are you guys done with school? Like in a year? I think you might have fucked up at work. If that's, you're not done.
Last day is tomorrow.
Last day is tomorrow. Okay. So that's how a real teacher answers that question. Every adult in the room understands I was asking about summer. When are you done? In a year? I didn't mean when are you going to quit your profession. Are you a teacher, sir? What do you teach?
8th grade science.
8th grade? Have you, who clapped for 8th grade science? Thank you for your service, sir. You got to put up with our shithead kids. Were you always 8th grade? Did you ever teach younger kids?
Nah, just always 8th grade.
Do they still talk a lot of shit about what goes on at home?
Yeah, they do.
Parents would be surprised, right? At just how much gossip those kids will throw out to everybody. They will just take all your most private shit and just run right to a teacher with it. It's wild. Especially like my first grader, like, all right, I will say that when you're at first grade, that shit is just set up. It's entrapment every time. Because she gets these little worksheets where it's like, my mom likes to blank. It's like every kid's gonna throw you under the bus at that, you know? My daughter had to fill one out around Christmas. It was just, my dad's favorite thing to do is blank. And she wrote, attack me. Which is what she calls tickling. They don't fucking know that. Miss Monahan doesn't know that's tickling. You get to have a talk with the principal after that. Thanks a lot. I know. So when are you done with school? Tomorrow? Oh, hell yeah. So you're just getting fucked up tonight. You're like, I don't even give a shit. It's been movie day for like a week. Those 8th graders have learned all the fucking science they're gonna learn this year, you know? That's no good. Round of applause. Who here played sports growing up? Few people. What'd you play?
Basketball and golf.
Basketball and golf. What were you any good at it?
Yeah.
Like how long did you play basketball?
I played basketball in high school and college.
High school and college? Nice. So why did you do golf then? Like what? It seems like you were specialized with basketball.
Limitations of being 6'2" and white.
Limitations of being 6'2" and white. Yeah, you must have gone to a pretty shitty college then, to be honest, if you're playing. It's not like you're at UC playing, right? That's good though. Like I did not. I played competitive sports through like 7th grade was the end of it. High school, no, I did freshman year of high school. I was on the hockey team, right? That's as far as I went like on the select level. And I knew it was time to quit because our coach gave a whole speech trying to like inspire the team. And he was like, he called me our team's Rudy, which you never want to find out. But he pointed at me, he's like, you guys look at Shalafu here. He gives 110% on every play. He would be our best player if he had half as much talent as the rest of you guys. I don't know if you've ever had a coach quantify how much you suck, but that's when it's time to get out of the game. Also, Rudy, he's not, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. I'm a big Notre Dame fan, you know, but the movie, the story is not great. You know, great movie, but not a great story. Because Rudy is it's a movie about a dude that wanted to play football, but he really sucked at football. And that's the whole movie. He just annoys the shit out of everybody until they let him pretend at the end of the season. You know, Rudy was just basically a Make-A-Wish kid that was never sick, right? So that was the end of it for me. I'm trying to be better as a role model for my kids, because my 4th grader did come home from school and she was like, her best friend had told her that if your parents let you play with screens, it means that they hate you because it's a drug. And first of all, I had to tell my daughter, I was like, sweetie, here's the first thing you need to understand, is that you never share your drugs with people you hate, okay? We let you play with the iPad because it's awesome, right? But I'm trying to be a better role model about screen time. So anytime my kids, I quit cold turkey, right? anytime my kids are in the house, I put my phone away. So they never see me playing on my phone. I made it 2 weeks doing that. 2 weeks is the absolute longest I could go without seeing my kids. That was, couldn't give up, couldn't give it up. And I'm not even doing anything fun on my phone. It's just dumb social media stuff. And I've moved past the normal shit. My new favorite is the Nextdoor app. Round of applause, is anybody on Nextdoor? It is by far the best. You guys need to get on board. If you're not familiar, Nextdoor is just a Facebook for people that live on your street, right? And everybody's just as petty as they would be on normal social media. Which is fun. Like if you go on Facebook or Twitter, people might be like, oh, I hate Democrats. Then you go on Nextdoor, people are like, I hate Fred. 1867 Pine Mills Drive, that Fred. It's wild. My favorite on Nextdoor, though, are moms during school levy season. That's when it's the best. You will see the craziest shit. There was one up in my hometown a couple years ago. I got to see this mom write this unhinged rant about how school teachers were just overpaid babysitters. It was ridiculous. Then underneath it, another mom commented, how can we trust your comments here if your husband can't even trust you to be faithful? Whoa! I canceled plans just so I could watch them go back and forth the rest of the day. I forgot to get my kids off the bus because I was so locked into Real Housewives of Target. It was great. All right, that's it for me. Thank you very much. Oh, are you going to come back up and close it out? All right. We'll bring Nick back up so he can say goodnight to you guys. Come on back up.
Yeah, Mark Shallop here, everybody. Yeah, real fist bump. There we go. Give it up for him. It's fucking awesome. Right on. That's our show. Thank you guys for coming out. One more time for all the comics you saw tonight, too. Right on, right on. Get home safe, everybody. Check the website for upcoming shows. You know. See ya. Bye.